All right, your financial firefighter here today. Today, what I like to talk about is turnkey properties and rent-ready properties. So, just let me remind you, I do work for the Honolulu Fire Department and RE/MAX Honolulu. All the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are of my own. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm here to hopefully help you get started in your out-of-state real estate investing journey. So, thank you, all of you who are subscribing, watching my videos, liking, reaching out to me, letting me know what I need to work on. So far, the biggest thing I've heard is I need to have more energy and try to smile more. So that's what I'm gonna work on. So that is one thing I'm gonna try to work on this video. But let's get back to the topic at hand. And what I do wanna talk about and trying to give you the breakdown of the different opportunities you may be facing when looking at out-of-state investing. So if you're not familiar, turnkey properties are basically properties that a company has, they found a distressed property, they've done a full renovation on it. Now basically they're gonna put this on the market. They will sell it to you at a premium to get their payday, but they're gonna sell it at a premium. So you're gonna pay top dollar for it. But the benefit of a turnkey company is that in theory, in the first 7 to 10 years, you probably should not see any big capex or maintenance expenses. So a turnkey company will typically take care of all big ticket items. You know, they'll take care of the roof, they'll take care of the furnace, they'll take care of the water heaters, probably appliances. But they're gonna try and make this process as easy for you as possible. So they're gonna take care of big ticket items. So hopefully you shouldn't have any big unexpected maintenance in the first 7 to 10 years. Now, with that being said, like I mentioned, you're gonna pay a premium for these properties. So you are gonna pay, basically a list price for these properties. However, the benefit is that your out-of-pocket costs as far as expenses, maintenance, it's going to be basically rolled in to your financing, your mortgage, and that helps you in that you can hold on to more cash to start investing quicker. So that is one benefit of turnkey properties, is that you shouldn't have, or don't quote me on that, but the benefit is that you're hoping to not get any big ticket expenses in the first 7 to 10 years. Another benefit with turnkey properties or turnkey providers is that you are also paying a little bit, because these companies, that's their business, that is their job. So they do market research on what areas or what markets are popular, or that they see potential for growth, or see potential for good cash flow. So you're also paying a little bit because these companies are doing the research to pick out markets that make sense for investors. So that is another benefit going with turnkey providers, is that they also give you a little bit market information as far as why they've selected these particular markets. Now, another benefit going with turnkey providers is that it's kind of a streamlined process. So, when you reach out to them, they'll schedule calls with you, kind of understand your situation, what your goals are, what your background is. But then they'll have usually a list of lenders that they work with. So these lenders typically deal with these turnkey providers. So it's kind of a streamlined process. The turnkey providers understand what lenders, and the lenders understand who they're working with, what type of clients they're going to be dealing with. So it kind of makes the process a lot easier. Now, usually when you go with turnkey companies, when you close on the property, a lot of times it will already be rented out. So there's already going to be a lease in place. So that's very, very important, because it takes out a lot of that fear of your property not renting out once you close. So a lot of times these providers will have leases in place, and some providers also do a 2-year lease. So that's also the benefit of going with turnkey providers. So the big downside, though, is typically you are going to have a smaller cash flow. because you are paying a premium on these properties. So you are not getting any type of sweat equity. You're not getting any type of kind of finding deals on the market by looking for properties yourself. So one of the cons of going with a turnkey provider is that you will probably have a smaller cash flow up front. So that's the benefits and the cons of going with a turnkey provider. Now, going with rent-ready type properties, and that's the route that I took when I got started, is I was looking for properties on my own with my realtor that I had in Pittsburgh. So we were looking for deals that fit my criteria, my buy box in the market that I was looking at. So the pros or the benefits of going with the type of route that I went with is that you have the opportunity to find properties that can give you better equity, or you can look for better deals because you can find sellers that are motivated, or you can find properties that maybe might need a little bit of work, but you're going to get it at a good price because maybe the seller needs to get out of the property, or they have, they're trying to move locations, move out of the area and they need to sell. So when you go with a rent-ready property, there's better opportunities to have better equity off the bat. However, with that being said, the problems with rent-ready properties possibly come in the maintenance or unexpected expenses. So like I mentioned with turnkey properties, that is one of the benefits of that is you probably are not going to get any big ticket item expenses up front because those are all renovated and fixed and taken care of in the rehab process. So that's also why when you go with a turnkey company, you want to make sure you're going with a good company that has a good track record of doing good rehab work or renovations. So rent ready, which I did, out of my 14 properties, I would say 10 went without any hiccups. Let me knock on wood some, but 10 out of the 14, no problems. The other 4, just you get caught with some of those maintenance expenses that come up, like the water heater went out, or maybe there was a small plumbing issue, or there was some electrical work that that passed inspection that wasn't caught during inspection. So these are the type of things you have to expect, and you just have to make sure you take out reserves from your monthly rent that you're collecting. Is you put a little bit aside, and it's called your Capex Reserve. So you have a little. Usually, some guys take out 10%, and they start putting this in a fund, so that they have it build up, so that when these expenses come up, they have funds there to take care of it. So that's what I've learned going the rent-ready route, is that there's going to be maintenance expenses sometimes, and sometimes it could be big, and it could eat into your cash flow. So rent-ready, definitely able to get more equity, you get better cash flow. However, you might get hit with bigger expenses up front, and because it's coming out of your pocket, it slows down some of the opportunities to invest. So turnkey, you're paying a premium, but all that cost, a lot of it is going to be rolled into your financing. So you're getting a smaller cash flow, but you're going to have less money coming out of pocket up front because you shouldn't have those big expenses. So with that being said, I went the rent-ready route. And the one thing that I noticed, or one thing that I like to say, is that I learned so much from just getting my first property until now. So going the rent-ready route definitely makes you learn a lot quicker, and you have to learn a lot faster. You get thrown into the fire and you got to figure things out, and that's where networking is important, or talking to other people that are in this business. Me personally, I have not done any turnkey properties. However, I've helped other individuals start their journey with turnkey investing. And the thing with that, like I said, it's a little bit more streamlined. It's a little bit less work on your part. So definitely the process is a little less hands-off. So as far as educating yourself, I feel the turnkey route kind of slows the process down for you learning. So that's the trade-off, right? But definitely, if I was to start over, I definitely would advise a lot of people to start with the turnkey properties. My reasoning for that is I'm not sure that everybody has the same mindset or attitude or trust in the process that I do. So for me, it's a learning process. There is headaches, there is problems, but I see the end result. I see where it's taking me. But I definitely see where some people, they get their first property and they have some of these problems, some of these headaches, some of these expenses, and they may not want to do it again. They may not want to continue. So I definitely think the turnkey route is probably good for the majority of out-of-state investors, because it helps you get those little base hits in the beginning, and you do learn. Like I said, your learning curve is a lot slower, just because it's a little more streamlined. Just the benefit though is that you kind of build some confidence. You get those little base hits in the beginning, and then as it starts growing, you start learning, and you start okay, let's this process works. Let's continue and keep growing my portfolio. But it's very, very important to build that confidence in the beginning, because I do want to point out that I know and talk and reach out to a lot of different investors, and the one thing that I would say is that problems are going to happen, and there's no way around it. Even if you buy a brand new house, there can be problems. So it's just like anything, right? It's just like anything. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it's just some headaches, but you got to trust the process. And that is the one thing I want to reiterate to people, is that there's going to be problems. There's going to be issues that come up, and we just got to figure it out. And you got to figure out, you got to trust the process. And I think that goes back to getting a good understanding of how this process works, as far as how the numbers work. And if you see the numbers, you'll realize that this is the way to get wealthy. It's not a get rich quick play, but it's definitely a get wealthy for sure. So let me point that out again. There is going to be problems. There is going to be headaches, but we got to trust the process, and we got to keep moving forward. So until my next video, like I said, trust the process and keep looking for those deals.